Hi, my name is Anil Kaul, and I am the CEO of Absolutdata. Absolutdata is a 14-year-old company in the analytics space. We are headquartered in the San Francisco Bay Area with our operational center located in Gurgaon in India, and we have offices as well in London, Dubai, and Singapore. We are about 500 people globally, and have been working and doing analytics before analytics became a buzzword. Productivity increases will come through with better people, of course, more skilled people, but also by using technology in a way that the impact of a skilled person can be spread over a larger and larger base. So in that realm, again, we've been building some very interesting AI-based products which use artificial intelligence to make decisions. And again, fortunately, we started doing this 2 years back before the rest of the world had even started talking about AI. So we were way ahead of everybody else in using artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is what we use quite a bit of in doing analytics. So that does reduce, on one hand, the number of people that we require, but it increases the skill level of the people that we need. Devices generating data that was never generated before. I think that's going to have a very large impact on what happens in the world. In fact, at the beginning of the interview, I said, one of the things we do is be on the cutting edge of all the things we do. In fact, we started working on Internet of Things about a year and a half back. So we've done some really cutting edge work on Internet of Things data to figure out how you could use that data. And I'll just share an example of that. We have a client which is a mining company in the US, and we have used the data that gets generated from the trucks that mining companies drive, the big trucks that they drive. And through that, we have been able to save about $150 million annually for the client. We have come up with interesting things like, because we have sensors in the trucks, we can actually advise a driver when a driver is not driving the truck properly. We can advise the road crews about the areas where the road is not properly built so that they could go and fix it. We can figure out when a truck needs oil change. We have reduced the cycle time, which is how much time a truck takes to come back and go back, significantly by figuring out when trucks are likely to bunch together, which is if there is a slow truck and other trucks can get behind it. So all of this is happening because of the data that's coming from Internet of Things. And this is something that wasn't possible 3 years back. And so you can see how much impact it can have. And again, this is our first big project where we have done it, and this is just the beginning of it. There will be data generated by every device. In fact, it is being generated right now. The challenge right now is capturing that data and, of course, then analyzing it. So yes, there will be a huge impact. Again, very early stages of that. I, in fact, have an app that tries to tell you what to do, but I don't think they've reached the stage where they're using analytics the way we, for example, could do to help people figure it out. But you will actually find that with the Internet of Things, that kind of support will be available to people. I actually came across some people in the Silicon Valley who are looking at analyzing all the data that sits in your calendar. Right? If you're meeting calendars, you track what you're doing, and through that they will be able to look at what affects your productivity. Are you productive on the days when you attend too many meetings? Are you more productive on the days when you get less email? That data is all there. It just needs somebody to sit and analyze, and that'll happen. I think cloud computing is there to stay. I don't know if I'm saying anything new about that, but what we're finding is that cloud computing is becoming more and more acceptable in most of the organizations. I don't think you need to anymore sell cloud computing. People get it. There's certainly issue about public cloud versus private cloud, hybrid cloud, and so on and so forth, but cloud is there to stay. I think what is more important is that cloud computing is changing how you create products, how you sell them, and how you use them. There used to be a time when to sell a product, you had to go through huge IT validation where they would check everything you have. all of that is going out of the window now because its product is on the cloud. The businesses are buying it more than IT. The businesses focus on, will this product give me impact on my ROI or not, and the rest, they just IT have to do a quick check to make sure everything is okay. So I think cloud computing is changing things significantly. The other piece that is happening because of cloud computing is that you can actually do a lot of things in the back end and continue to improve your software tremendously, which was very tough to do without cloud. You have to do very regular releases, and then if you had 5,000 customers, you'll have to go and update each one of them. Now you update it once, and it gets updated for everyone. Similarly, any benefits or any new analysis, for example, for us, is done for one particular customer that gets released to the rest of the customers in an instance. It is having significant impact on the value of analytics, on speed of analytics, as well as the impact that analytics creates. Do we feel secure? Yes, but at the same time, I wouldn't say we feel secure just because it's in the cloud. We do take a lot of measures to make sure it's fully secure. First of all, we will not keep any data that is very confidential and has high risk in the cloud. Our clients won't let us do that, and we won't do that either. Second is, whatever data that we're putting in the cloud, we ensure we put it in partnership with the leading companies out there. We have, for example, some data that sits in Google Cloud, and that's kind of the gold standard of security out there. If somebody can, have problems with data in Google Cloud, I think those guys could enter into any other company's security as well. So we make sure that we use good providers. Second, we also make sure that data that we're putting reduces the risk if it were to ever be leaked or something happens to that. So those are the kind of things. So, for example, any data that has any personal identifiable information is never kept in the cloud. And again, there are multiple layers behind where it sits and so on and so forth, but we try to make sure that it's pretty safe. So analytics without technology is not very helpful. It does not have the impact that it needs to have. So now technology has become a very core component of what we deliver and of analytics everywhere. Companies that are just doing analytics and not doing technology aren't going to survive for too long. They have to either change, which is bring technology into what they do, or they will not be around for too long. We are able to have this impact at the front lines, and I'll give you an example. One product that we're developing helps salespeople make their decisions in the sales process much better. Who should they contact? When should they contact them? What should they send in the email? Should they call them? Should they meet them? All of that is being aided by AI that tells them what to do. Right? So what that means is, for an organization, the sales impact can be significantly large. And I'll share an example of something that we've done in this area. We have a client in the US, about $10 billion in business, and in a test that we did with them very, very recently, in a 7-week test actually, we got them a 3% increase in sales when the rest of their sales force had a minus 1% increase, which is they went down by 1%. So think of 4% increase in sales for a $10 billion, which is almost $400 million. That's the kind of impact that you can have.